here's the thing about Elsie Silver. She is gonna go ahead and grab you by the freaking throat. The first 5 reviews I saw were all 1 stars, okay? This man was sobbing over her. Oh my gosh, wow. I really, really liked that book. It was definitely my favorite read of the 3 books that I read this week. Hi all, it's me, Allison. Welcome back to my channel. I have been so overwhelmed lately with how many good authors have released books in the month of September alone. I have been trying to keep up and read all of these books as they come out, but unfortunately in the middle of this month, there were 3 of my favorite authors that came out with books on the exact same day. Elsie Silver, Hannah Bowen Young, and Tessa Bailey. Now, thankfully, I already read Picture Perfect by Tessa Bailey due to NetGalley giving me an advanced reader copy back in May, I believe. It was really good. I highly recommend it, but there are 2 books out of those 3 that I still have not read. So this week I decided that I wanted to film a what I realistically read in a week type vlog, and my goal was to read both Wild Card by Elsie Silver and People Watching by Hannah Bowen Young. Now, usually for me, I can get about 2 to 3 books done in a week, one of those being an audiobook. But when it comes to Elsie Silver, her writing is so addicting that I just have a feeling that I will get through Wild Card so fast. And what better way to chase a really good book than reading another really good book right after it? And I have complete and total faith in Hannah Bowen Young that People Watching will be so good. The snippets that she's been posting have been mouth-watering. I am excited to read both of these. Okay, here's the thing about Elsie Silver. She is gonna go ahead and grab you by the freaking throat before you even get to 20%. I am officially at 17% of Wild Card, and I am already on the edge of my seat. I am dying to know what happens. For context, this is the 4th book in the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. If you don't know anything about this series, this is an interconnected standalone series about 4 single dads in a small town called Rose Hill. So in this book, we're following Bash, who is a super grumpy, super no-nonsense kind of guy. At the beginning of this book, he is stuck in the airport. He then meets our female main character, Gwen, who is like a cute, bubbly, very outgoing, super positive yoga instructor who he can't help but feel some kind of attraction to. And they form this connection that they both can't seem to let go of. By the end of the night, he asks for her number, and when he gets home, he's texting her, and then 8 months later, she has yet to respond. Throughout this journey, you also find out that he just found out in present time that he has a 24-year-old son. Bash is flying to go to his son's 25th birthday party. As fate would have it, when Bash shows up to the birthday party, he sees Gwen there and he is literally stunned to the gods, okay? He is so stunned, he cannot speak. Turns out Gwen is now dating his son. But now it's like he's fighting these demons inside of him. He's like, I can't go for her because she's literally dating his son who he's trying to build a relationship with. Anyway, surely you can tell this is going to be messy and it's going to be so dramatic and I'm going to eat it up. Well, guys, I finished. Day 2 of this video and I finished Wild Card. I told you it was not going to take me long. Elsie Silver has a grip on me. I honestly could have finished it yesterday if I didn't start reading so late in the afternoon. So as for Sunday, I read 217 pages of Wild Card.
I'll be honest, I was hoping that I was going to be so busy that I was unable to finish this day 2 of this freaking video, but unfortunately that is not the case. So I'm gonna go over a few of my thoughts on this book. Number 1, the drama of him dating his son's ex-girlfriend honestly wasn't that bad. Like, yes, there were some moments where you're like, ooh, this is like really bad for him. And honestly, there was one part where I was like, there's no way he's gonna have a relationship with his son after this, but actually it ended up being perfectly, totally fine. I thought the romance in this book was very on par with all of Elsie Silver's other books. I will say I don't think it was my favorite in the Rose Hill series. Something about Wildside, aka book 3. I feel like overall, all of the books in this series have been pretty much on the same level. There were a few cameos of characters from some of her other books, which I was so delighted to see. It was giving Emily Henry. So officially, I'm going to give Wildcard 4 stars. I thought it was fun, romantic, sweet, the pacing was good, and I just overall really enjoyed it. But now that we've finished Wildcard, I'm going to dive into People Watching tonight, and I guess I'll pick out one more book to potentially read in this vlog, because if I go through People Watching as fast as I went through Wildcard, you're not gonna see me reading realistically in a week. It's gonna be about 4 days. I was just about to call you.
Crap. Obviously, our minds are connected.
Okay. So we want to go outside? So I was going to give you an update on People Watching while I was walking with Mimi, but unfortunately, as soon as we got out there, it did start to rain. So I'm going to do it here in my living room. So sorry, I was trying to give you a unique and different background for once, but unfortunately, we're just going to be stuck on this couch once again. Okay, the total amount of pages that I read for Monday was 208. That's a pretty decent amount of pages, I would say. I mean, I finished a book and I started a new one. So as far as like People Watching goes, I only read 26 pages last night. I was completely exhausted. I was unable to like comprehend what I was reading by the end of the night, so I did just have to take a break and go to sleep. I had the unfortunate incident of checking the Goodreads reviews for People Watching. I was really shocked to see absolutely horrible reviews. The first 5 reviews I saw were all 1 stars, okay? I just feel like Hannah Bowen Young is one of those authors that comes out with a banger book every single time. There is no miss with her. So you cannot believe the shock I was under when I saw the terrible reviews. Thankfully, I am able to look past bad reviews because I do want to make my own opinions about this book, and I have been really excited to read it. Like, on the edge of my seat, so excited for it to finally come out. So I'm not letting the Goodreads reviews deter me from having a good time. I am going to be, making my own judgment. At the moment, I am 32% into People Watching, and I have a couple of thoughts. Number 1, our main male character, Milo, physically is probably the hottest main male character I've ever read. He's tatted to the gods. He's got that shaggy dog hair look. He's got a mustache. Okay. He's super confident, not too serious, has a very good sense of humor. On the outside, he is perfect. Unfortunately, he is kind of giving me the ick. I don't know where I can pinpoint why he's bothering me so much. I don't like that he really can't take anything seriously. He's giving off this air that he doesn't care about anybody but himself. And even his inner monologue kind of confirms that theory. It seems as if he's doing anything that will benefit him. And Prudence, on the other hand, I don't really think I have that much of an opinion on Prudence. She's our female main character. I'm hoping that it'll be better than a 1 star, which is what Goodreads has suggested that's what it's going to be. But I don't know. I need something to switch and I need something to turn around before I can really enjoy this.
It's so pretty. It should come to no shock at all that I did go ahead and move forward and finishing people watching today on Wednesday. Now, as we spoke yesterday, I do want to give you an update on my page count. So for Tuesday, I read 108 pages of people watching, and today I did the 185, thus wrapping up the book. Now, I know that I had some pretty strong opinions about Milo the last time I updated you guys. Unfortunately, if I had read maybe a chapter later, then everything I just said would have been null and void. Turns out Milo is not as selfish as I thought he was. He actually is just emotionally stunted like all men are. And I actually found that the journey of him being able to come to terms with actually having emotions and feelings and letting that come out and supporting Prue and her journey of also finding herself. I found that very touching. I don't know what these 1-star reviews are talking about. I thought that this book was actually really good. I ended up giving it a 3.75. It was so close to a 4, but because it took me like just a little bit longer than usual to get into it, I can't fully give it a 4 stars, but I actually thought it was entertaining, it was beautiful, and not to mention, Milo was so obsessed with Prue, it was actually insane. The yearning in this book was very on par with things that I tend to enjoy, and so I think that is also why the ranking is a little bit higher in my humble opinion, because yearning is a lost art, and Ms. Hannah Boehm Young did not forget it, okay? Well, now that it's Wednesday and I have completed 2 books, I am going to move forward with a random pick. This actually wasn't on the agenda for this week. I decided to go ahead and pick up If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. This cover just screams fall. Also, it literally just looks like Gilmore Girls. So this book came out in the beginning of September. I actually have never read anything by Julie Olivia. So I'm excited to dive into a new author, and honestly, the reviews on Goodreads are very positive. It's a single dad romance that's also set in the 90s. I don't know what, it's just feeling like this might be a vibe here. As we're approaching the end of September, I am getting in the mood for fall reads, and this one is obviously screaming fall. So I'm excited to dive into this. I might give myself a little bit of break and decompress and let my eyes rest, and then maybe dive into it tonight. If not, we'll be starting it completely from start tomorrow. Happy Thursday. I have a bit of an update for you guys. I am officially at 23% of If It Makes You Happy. You guys, this is exactly what the doctor ordered, especially with the drop of temperature recently. This is such a cozy fall read. I am literally unable to contain the giddiness I have. I am so ready for it to be fully fall, and I feel like this book is actually
putting me in that mindset, thank goodness. We're talking black cat, her, golden retriever, him, single dad of a little girl and a teenager, so we're getting both sides of the fathering here. He's funny, he's quirky, she's kind of stiff, feels unlovable, if you will. For updates from yesterday, so as of Wednesday, I read 185 pages, thus finishing People Watcher, and I did not even pick up If It Makes You Happy last night. I was so exhausted. So today was like the beginning of me starting it. I just want to give you guys an update. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting gooey butterfly feels in my tummy wummy. Oh my God, what? Anyway. One thing I love about this so far is just like books like these where the female main character is just like really harsh and doesn't really have a soft side, but does show that soft side when it comes to children, in particular his 6-year-old daughter. I am just like loving how, even though she doesn't want to be involved with these people, she doesn't want to be involved in this town, she can't help but feel protective over this little girl. And I'm thinking more specifically later on the teenager as well. We haven't really had much with the teenager yet, but she's specifically really attached to this little girl, which I just find so cute. And I love that because, you know, like a child's love can really heal your soul, and she's needing some healing. Happy Friday. Thank God. It has actually been the longest week imaginable at work, and I am actually thankful that I have had so much time to read after work. That being said, I am about 73% of If It Makes You Happy. And guys, I am really enjoying myself. But as for my page count for Thursday, I read 185 pages of If It Makes You Happy. And let me tell you something right now. It does make me happy. There, I said it. What I'm really enjoying about this book so far is that it's a pretty cliche, like general idea of a book, but the way that it's being presented is just, it just feels different to me somehow. One, I mean, the main premise is a city girl has to go take care of a bed and breakfast in a cute, quaint little town across the country from where she's at. She's given, you know, herself until the end of the year to watch over this inn until her sister starts to take over. She's very cold-hearted, and she obviously gets charmed by the town and the hot single dad next door neighbor, all the things. That's pretty basic, you know, like we've seen this film before. Not that it's not good, but we've seen this film before. But I'm telling you right now, there's something about it that just feels fresh and unique. I can't explain it at this time, but I will say what I'm loving the most is that the romance did not start until they were actually truly best friends. I didn't realize this was going to be a friends to lovers, but it at the end of the day, like, that's what it is. And I'm a sucker for friends to lovers. I'll be the first to say it, but the way that this is playing out, like, I am really enjoying myself. Overall, this has been a really good reading week. Like, no duds. Everything has been so good to read. And this one in particular is just getting me in such the fall mood. We've covered Halloween. We've covered Thanksgiving. We're moving into Christmas. Like, these are the months that I live for. I mean, I really do. Okay, it's officially Saturday, and I just wanted to give you an update on my total reading count for Friday. So for Friday, I read 306 pages. Amazing what you can do when you stay up till 1 a.m. Due to that amount of pages being read, I did finish If It Makes You Happy, and oh my gosh, wow. I really, really liked that book. It was definitely my favorite read of the 3 books that I read this week. I loved how cute it was. It just felt so wholesome and sweet, and the romance was just so genuine. I loved everything about it. I went ahead and added every Julie Olivia book on my TBR after that, and I ended up giving it a 4 stars. This was a really good reading week, guys. Like, everything was not below a 3.5. And just like that, it is the end of the week. It is officially Sunday, therefore, I have done my week's worth of reading, and I have a couple of updates. On Saturday, I was just not in the mood to read. I feel like I did a full sprint this week, like not in a bad way. It's just like I read so much this week. So now I think on Saturday, I just like needed some time to like recuperate and just like not look at my Kindle for a whole 24 hours. So I unfortunately did read 0 pages on Saturday, which is totally fine. So with the 3 books that I read this week, I read a total of 1,209 pages. Usually I really only do 2 books a week. And the fact that I did 3 this week was kind of like a surprise to me. But also, like I said, these authors have great books. I knew I was going to get through them pretty quickly. I even had to pull in like a last minute one to read, and it ended up being the best one I read this week. So honestly, like, very grateful for the fall reads this year. Well, that is the end of this week's vlog. If you liked it, be sure to like and subscribe if you don't mind. I'll have social media links down below. I have Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, my podcast, so be sure to follow all of those links down below. And for now, bye guys.